Hey, Red.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So let me.
We are on here, guys. I think I caught Red off guard.
I know I'm gonna play the our intro. Let's play our intro.
Hello, I'm Felicia Vereen, always known as Fee.
Hey, Fee, and I'm your girl Sharita Three, better known as Red.
And we are Inspire Her, the Total Woman podcast, all about uplifting you.
Yes.
Because, friends, face it, you are awesome.
We'll be chatting up about topics we love to talk about. All the things we as women must juggle every day and the ish we complain about.
But who's listening?
Girl,
We'll chat about the struggle, the job, and about him. You know who we talking about.
Girl.
That boo, husband, boyfriend, ex, whatever you calling them today. Our lovely hellions, kids.
Our angels. But seriously, friends, life happens, and we don't always get a chance to talk about it. We take it on the chin and we keep it moving.
Because that's what we were told to do.
Yep.
But here on Inspire Her, the Total Woman podcast with Red and Fee, we are the friends you love to hang out with. We are here to inspire her, the Total Woman.
Yes.
I totally deleted my banner. I'm having a moment.
It's okay.
I'm having a moment. Give me a second, y'all. Okay. I spelt yourself wrong the first time. I'm like, what is the fear of? Okay. All right. Listen, guys, we are in there. I forget it. I'm having a moment. I don't know. I was doing fine up until we went live.
And
Now,
everything falls apart.
now I'm having a moment.
It's okay.
All right, Red. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down.
Just a smidget.
I'm gonna calm down. Woosah. Hey, everybody doing out there? Welcome to Inspire Her. We are excited, right, Red? We're excited for this
We
one.
are definitely excited. We good. We good. You excited? You excited because we got this guest talking about?
I am. We got the relationship Raven back again. For
Yeah.
those who know her, she has been on our show at least twice. One when we were talking about polyamorous relationships, and she was on our No Holds Bar.
Yes, she was.
We are happy to have you back. You becoming a regular girl.
Thank you. It is so fun, and I'm grateful to be back speaking with you ladies. It's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you. I told her when she came on, she was giving us a little 70s vibe.
I like it.
Thank
I
you.
am feeling it. So listen, Red, how was your day today?
My day was good. It was long, but it was good. It was good. Long, but good.
My day, I don't know. Working at a school behind the scenes, it's it's different. And a private, it's different. So, but guys, listen, we are talking about a very for some sensitive subject tonight, and for others, I guess it might be just an eye opener. More like an eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
And we our guest, she volunteered to come on when I was talking to her about the topic. She thought it was a great topic. So we are going to be just letting her share some of her experience. But the topic is, what is the fear of being yourself? What's the fear of being yourself? You know? I was telling Red, we were talking as we do in the mornings. I know she get tired of me calling her in the mornings, but it ain't gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. Oh, I was like, you know what? Does anybody know of a person or people that they're one way with when they're with you in private having fun, but in public they're a totally different person, or they can't really be who they want to be. Maybe they're this fun, outgoing, flirty, love to have fun, person. But then when they're around family or out in the public, they become closed mouth, tight lip type of person that doesn't can't be around people or can't really show who they really are. Or maybe it's somebody that the gay community. Maybe it's somebody that can't be themselves around their family or church members and it's just eating them up inside, you know?
Mm, mm,
That's something that we wanted to talk about tonight, just to get an understanding of, you know, when is it okay to just let your guard down and just be yourself,
mm, mm,
regardless of who's around, regardless of where you are. When is it okay?
mm.
I have Red, the LPC, and I have Antoinette, who is the relationship raven. But tonight, she's gonna be giving us some of her experience because she has gone through something like that. I think we might have all gone through something like that. I know I have. So we'll be sharing our experiences. So Raven, tell us a little. I'm sorry. So the Antoinette, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I would say it's been a very fun journey coming into my authenticity, but my background, I grew up in like a fundamentalist religion with a very strict background, and then I decided to really search for and discover my own identity in my late 20s. Now I'm in my early 30s. So this topic resonates with me a lot. You know, the fear of being myself, being authentic, not actually knowing what it means to be myself. And I have gone, I've walked down a lot of paths discovering who I am. But I made sure that on all of them, you know, I wanted to be safe. I wanted to be genuinely curious. And all of these led me back to my authenticity. Um, yeah. So, do you have any more specific details about what you would like to know about this part?
Just in general, I know Red was going to talk to us a little bit about this. I guess what is it called? Some it's
The imposter syndrome.
imposter
That's it's
syndrome.
yeah, and the clinical term of the imposter syndrome is different from what we know. You faking the funk about who you are, who you think you are, who people want you to be, that kind of stuff. So with the imposter syndrome, it's almost like people who are high achievers and they create or they become anxious and nervous and they almost downplay their achievements. Like
Mhm.
Einstein and I think Maya Angelou was one of the other people. It is a cognitive distortion. It's like you got these high achievers and they still feel like they're inadequate or less than because of the expectations that they put on themselves. Um, yeah, so that's kind of what that is. So I guess it has some similarities to it,
Yeah.
but I think it's just a matter of being comfortable within yourself. And that's so much easier said than done. You can talk from your childhood experiences, religious background, being an authoritative household where you really didn't have a voice. So all those things kind of play a part in who we are and who we become and how we develop. So is it's that's the clinical part of it. So, but you're like, okay, well, I thought I wanted this. I thought I wanted to do that. It's almost like a fad,
Yeah.
that you get to you're thinking that you want to be this way, and then you think, this is not working for me. Or a lot of times we talk about having seasons, and this season, this lifestyle may have worked for me, but then when I think about the greater picture and what I want, and it could be something as simple as I'm a playboy, a playgirl, and I want to be single. At this moment in this stage of my life, I don't want a relationship. But 5 or 6 years down the road, something happens and you feeling lonely. Let's say you get sick, you get really ill, and you feel like, well, dang, I don't have anybody, or I don't have any kids, and then you think about, well, maybe I want to do this. I want to start my life doing that. So just kind of figuring out who you are and being comfortable within yourself. And we know that you had one lifestyle, but what I'm hearing is you realize that lifestyle didn't work for you anymore. So tell us about that lifestyle.
All righty. All right. No, that was great context. And thank you so much. And I really resonated with everything that you said. So for the audience, what they're referencing is, so I'm still a part of the polyamorous community as a relationship coach. And I help individuals develop their autonomy and understand their needs so that they can have empowered relationships with themselves, others, and the world around them.
Mm-hmm.
But I did make the decision about 8 months to a year ago to stop practicing polyamory
Mm-hmm.
as my relationship style after having what I consider successful relationships. I can say they were semi long term because I had relationships that lasted, more than 2 years. But at the same time, as boys to men say, now we've come to the end of the road. and and for me, as I was deciding, okay, this I do appreciate this love style, it actually does resonate with me, but I actually was thinking about what are my relationship goals. And I made the personal decision after being part of the community and being there socially, making
Mm-hmm.
friends,
Mm-hmm.
and romantic connections. I do consider those in that community to be part of my tribe,
Mm-hmm.
but I also realized the haystack was a little bit bigger and I was still searching for a needle in type of the terms of romantic relationship that I would like to experience. So I took a pause. I had ended the connections or my relationships that I were in. There were two of them. And that I took some time to reconnect with myself and heal. And after that, I decided, okay, I'm going to commit to just being in monogamous relationships again and see if I can find a partner who is for me. Now, the reason why that I feel ties so well into this topic of what is the fear of being yourself
Mm-hmm.
is because I had been running community programs, online groups. We were doing book clubs, and I had become like, that coach in the community. And I was thinking, well, I feel like these people are my people. They feel like I'm their coach. How can I still be myself even though I'm no longer doing all of the same things that they do? Where is my place in the community even though I'm no longer practicing polyamory? So really, I think that what I'm saying is like the relationship practice had become a major part of my identity. And then I decided that that was I didn't want for my identity to hinge on that part of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, did you have a question, Faye?
No, go ahead. You finish.
Yeah, so there was a time where along like while I was taking some time to reconnect with myself and mentally transition back to, how do I prepare to have a monogamous mindset, because there are different mindsets when you are in healthy polyamorous relationships versus monogamy. But I also I went through imposter syndrome for a while, thinking, oh no, I don't have a place here anymore. I'm gonna lose all my clients. No one's gonna work with me. All of those things. And then I realized, you know what, my identity doesn't hinge on that part, and I just need to continue to figure out what works for me. And like I said, I help people to understand what are their needs and how do they meet them, or and how do they ensure that they're met by the people that they're surrounded by. So
Right.
I took the time to do that for myself again, and I realized, like, you can't. I've practiced over the last few years since leaving the religion that I was, that I grew up in. I had to practice releasing fear of rejection. I had to practice releasing fear of not being accepted. I've practiced seeking internal validation and
Mm-hmm.
my own approval, and making sure that this all lines up with, am I satisfied? Are my needs being met? Am I happy? Do I have joy? So yeah, but the fear of being myself originally completely stemmed from, oh no, what if I'm going to be rejected and alone and no one loves me and no one's going to want to be my friend? And those
Mm-hmm.
are really hard things to deal with. Yeah.
So let
Very.
me ask you a question. When you were a part of the polyamorous community, were you were you fitting in? Was that something that you wanted to do then, or was it something you felt like you needed to do because I don't know, you didn't fit in the monogamous community, or I don't know, did you, when you were in polygamy, when you were in that community, polyamory
Okay.
community, I said polygamy. Excuse me, guys. When you were in the polyamorous community, did
Mhm.
you fit? Did you feel like you fit?
Honestly,
Because
yes.
you were a Jehovah Witness
Yeah.
and you were polyamorous.
Mm.
Yeah. I went from one extreme to the exact opposite
And
extreme.
in my
Yeah.
lifetime, when I was little, we were Jehovah Witnesses. My mom was practicing Jehovah Witness. I
Wow.
was younger. I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I do know about the Jehovah Witness community. And
Mhm.
polyamory is definitely not accepted.
Yeah.
So how did
So,
you handle that?
Yeah. So, so we have
can
a
you
we have,
answer that question? What's the difference between polygamy and polyamory?
oh, okay. So polygamy is typically when one man has multiple wives, but polyamory, that word in itself means multiple loves, and so the concept or the definition behind it is that those who seek polyamorous relationships are seeking genuine romantic attachment to multiple individuals. So when you think of one relationship, just one healthy relationship, think about duplicating that. And so it's not limited to one man being with multiple women. This could be one woman being with multiple men, or really multiple anyone being with multiple anyone, because, whether you're on the binary spectrum or identify as non-binary, excuse me, trans, yeah, the community really is about healthy relationships with love. And I really emphasize the love part because they do have communities that are just for, sexual release, and that's called just the umbrella of open relationships. But
Mhm.
polyamory does focus on the emotional attachment and actually developing relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the question.
Hmm.
It When you, let's say, were you able to be yourself around your parents, people that you went to church with? Were you able to bring maybe your partners around? Were you able to do any of that?
Hmm. That's a really good question. I would say that growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I I feel like I was myself to the extent that I could be. And what I mean by that is it's a very restrictive group where a lot of things like you're given instruction on, how to dress. There's a certain standard for that. And of course you want to be able to dress respectfully, but there's a limit to how you can express yourself, even if it comes to, coloring your hair or getting different piercings. And then, there's restrictions on what types of movies you can watch, so or even sometimes activities that you can do. So I would say I felt like I was myself, but I was also personally, I was like the good listening, quote unquote, child, where I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It That's the fence, I won't get next to it. So, so that the way I really discovered who I was with was, who can I be when alone? But like you had described earlier, how are you when you're around other people? I was incredibly shy. I don't know why I had this belief that I wasn't seen or memorable. And I really, even though I'm still kind of young, I kind of took to heart that phrase where it says children should be seen and not heard. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to do that. I can do that. And I was a very quiet child. I didn't consider having a personality or not until, it was as I started becoming, in my late teens and my early 20s, I started to realize, hey, there's things that I would like, but I keep on making these decisions based on the instruction that this organization is giving to me. And then some of the advice that I was taking to them wasn't actually working out for me. So then I was like, hey, I got to figure out life a little bit more on my own. And yeah, and I did feel that it became too restrictive.
So
So
there was a fear kind
yeah.
of being yourself because you thought
Def-
maybe they weren't gonna accept you or your parents might get upset or
yeah. Well, there's an overarching fear that if you don't fit in enough, you're going to be rejected because they actually do within that group. They practice what's called disfellowshipping, also known as excommunication. But
yeah,
even if you don't get disfellowshipped, if you don't come across as a devout Jehovah's Witness, there are social repercussions, and you won't see it written down in any of their literature, but it's part of the religious culture where if you're not quote unquote spiritual enough, you won't be invited places, you won't be spoken to, there will be a little bit more gossip about you. And it might just be that you're a quiet person, but you really do have to work to fit in order to like you're kind of like working or masking for approval.
So
yeah.
my question was, did you ever feel like you didn't belong, or did you ever really buy into the religion and the lifestyle, or was it forced upon you?
Oh, I completely believe when I believed it, I completely believed it. But I was born into it. That was all.
Right. That's all you
That's
knew.
all you know.
Yeah. And it was as I began figuring out life, and one thing I can say about the religion is, they have the ministry where Jehovah's Witnesses go and they connect with people to help teach them the Bible.
Oh.
But yeah, but the more I did that, the more I learned more about people. And then when I went into the workforce, like the more exposure I had to people in this world, and I was getting out of the Jehovah's Witness bubble just through work or through that ministry. And I was figuring out, hey, the world needs more empathy than what I'm being told I can show. So actually, yeah, in that right, I didn't feel like I could be myself because I was like,
Mhm.
hey, we're only going to focus on the scripture talking about God being love, because I'm not going to tell you. I wasn't going to condemn anyone for being themselves, especially when they were being a person who wasn't harming somebody else. But I didn't want to tell someone they were wrong for who they were born as.
Right, right. A lot of times people when they're not allowed to be themselves,
Mhm.
it comes out in other ways. Like if you're I mean, imagine not being able to be yourself, period. And imagine what would happen. Maybe
Mhm.
you would become an angry person.
Mhm.
Maybe you would become a raving lunatic if you can't be yourself. Imagine that. Imagine me not being able to be silly and stupid sometimes and feeling like these people aren't going to accept me. You know,
Mhm.
my friends aren't going to accept me. I have to
Mhm.
be this one way all the time, or
Mhm.
I'm not going to be accepted. You know, I will say I was pretty much raised in the Church of Christ, and I'm still in the Church of Christ.
Mhm.
Some of the things that I learned as far as and we don't have to talk about religion this whole time. We talk about all kinds of stuff, but some of the things that I learned along the way when I was growing up, women couldn't wear pants to church, and even the holiness they practice that. But now women wear pants to church. You come as you are. So we have to be careful a lot of times when we're putting these things on people and actually picking up the Bible and reading it to see what it says. It doesn't say anything about that in the Bible.
Mm.
Mhm.
Man-made stuff, So just reading to show yourself your own self,
Mhm.
what's going on, understanding what the people are telling you, your ministers, your brothers, your whatever they're calling me, whatever they're doing. Just read for yourself and understand. And be yourself. Like the title says, what is the fear of being yourself? Why should someone else stunt your ability to be your own self?
Well,
Mhm.
society,
You
we quick to cancel somebody these days. So sometimes
are.
it's safe. It's safe to go with the grain. Once you go against the norm, it's not always a safe space.
Mhm.
And I agree with you because sometimes I just don't care.
Mhm.
If you don't agree, like right now, like Sharita, Sharita said, you're in season. I'm in the okay season right now. You don't agree with me? Okay. You don't like me? Okay. You don't like what I'm doing, what I believe? Okay. You don't want to be around me? Okay. You know, I it's just to me it's just not that serious, right?
Yeah, but it took a while to get there. We all have a sense of belonging. We want to belong to something.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be sitting on an island by themselves, whether they say they do or not. We all have this sense of belonging. So sometimes we got to go along and get along. You know, I might not want to, when we all out, let's say it's 8 of us, we used to hang out or whatever. All of us may not be people that want to be out and doing kind of stuff, but we did it because of that. I mean, I could have simply said, oh, well, no, I'm going to stay in the room and you guys go ahead and do whatever. That would have made me like a Debbie Downer, or I'm not involved or whatever. Possibly. Shut up, Fee. I did go out.
She'd be going back to the room and going to bed at 8:30. Stop playing.
Not all the time. Don't believe
You know what we say?
that. Don't believe
You know, I can understand what you're saying, because that sounds like it goes into the people pleasing aspect. You know, you want to make sure that you're helping keep up the vibe if you're not, pouring into it. And sometimes I've been in those situations before, because y'all, I consider myself to be an extroverted introvert. I want to get out. I want to have fun. I am a dancer. I love to just get out there and have fun. But y'all, if I go out this Saturday, give me a 3-week recovery period, because I'm going to be
3 weeks.
Yeah, yes.
I don't get that
3
long.
business weeks. Or maybe every other week. But yeah, no, I need time to recharge my batteries by myself, because I personally feel drained after, hanging out around so much energy with other people. And it can be fun, but then I just got to recharge by myself, and it's nothing personal. Also, I've reconnected with my family since, leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I've developed my own community of friends. To answer the question y'all had earlier about if I felt like if I felt like I could be myself within the polyamorous community, that is the most beautiful yes that I can say in my life, because that was actually the community where I found friendship and connection shortly after leaving the religion. I didn't have any friends, or because when I was a witness, you're discouraged from building a social life outside of that community. And when I left, basically I'm blacklisted. No one no one could talk to me because I left. So it's like, that's a whole other conversation on what happens to you when you choose to leave the religion.
On some level, do you think that you were rebelling a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit, just
it felt good. Well, I was taking back my own life, my own identity, like what I'm gonna share. I love to share songs and lyrics, but Brand New Me by Alicia Keys. Oh my goodness, that song was on repeat, and especially her lyric, which she say, if you were a friend, you'd want to get to know me again. This was the first time I was 20, like 8 years old, 29, when I formally resigned from the religion, on the cusp of turning 30. And it had taken me so long to leave, because I knew that I was going to lose so many friends. And the only 2 people that I actually told I was leaving, I confided in my best friends. And I didn't tell them I was leaving the religion. I told them, hey, y'all, I haven't been going to the meetings. And honestly, I made the choice that I'm comfortable not going. Because I wanted to see, when my 2 closest friends of about 15 years, would they show me love, or would they just go along with what they were told? Now, I don't judge them, because again, they're following what they believe to be is right. They believe that this is their way to serve God. So I don't judge them or condemn them for that. But I am disappointed with the fact that right after I confided in them with that, and I had hid for 6 months the fact that I had not been participating in Jehovah's Witness. They couldn't tell the difference. And once I shared my truth with them, stopped getting phone calls, and my phone calls weren't received.
So what's the difference? Did you actually leave? Because you're saying you left. Like, if I don't go to church in 6 months or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily saying that I left the church. I just ain't been in 6 months. So what's the difference with that church with the witnesses?
There's levels to it. So the thing is, when you stop participating in the ministry work, you're considered inactive, which means that and that's kind of like, it's kind of like a yellow flag, like, hey, everyone, this person needs encouragement because they're not really doing things. So I stopped attending the meetings, which is just a phase of inactivity. But it had gotten to the point where, well, I wasn't planning on formally resigning, but basically, I did formally resign from the religion. Shortly before my 30th birthday, because there were members like who are considered elders within the congregation who were wanting to, speak to me to figure out, hey, what's going on with you. They wanted to do a quote unquote spiritual checkup to determine if I should be disfellowshipped or if I could be quote unquote left alone in the religion. And so they were seeking to have a meeting with me. So I just sent them a text message and said, I'm not available for that. And please consider this my resignation from the religion. Because it was what they call a judicial committee for a judgment over my life, my spirituality, my status within the religion. And that was kind of the final straw. I decided I'm no longer under the authority that you assume you have that I don't recognize.
You want to take back control of your life.
Yeah.
Control.
Yeah. It felt good. Well, it was scary. I'm not gonna lie, it was scary.
I'm sure it was. Sure it was. Did your family like distance themselves from you?
So this was the beautiful part, is that my older siblings had already left the religion. And I will share, it was an emotional reunion because I distanced myself from them when I was a devout witness. And I was the one who had to go back asking for forgiveness. And really, I remember one of my siblings, one of my sisters, because I'm the youngest of 7, y'all. But one of my sisters, we were hanging around each other, and with her, we had just drifted apart because she left the religion earlier than I did. And she kind of had the mental assumption, oh, I live differently now. Antoinette's not going to want to be around that. And I personally didn't have a judgmental mind towards her, but that's kind of something that you think when you leave the religion, is that, I know what the standard is and I know I'm not meeting it. So let me just separate myself. So when my sister and I were able to reconnect, I said, let me just be myself. And it turns out that even without being part of that community, I'm a loving person. I'm a kind person. I try my best to be a good person. And that resonated with my sister. So we were able to join each other again. But with one of my brothers, actually live with him right now, I was trying to set like what's considered spiritual goals for myself in the church when I was 15, 16 years of age. And I told him, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to do this within the Kingdom Hall. So we can't talk anymore, because he was kicked out of the church. So we didn't speak for about 13 years.
Wow.
And he had noticed with some of my Facebook posts, hey, she doesn't sound exactly like a Jehovah's Witness anymore. He reached out to me, and in our first conversation, we talked for a little bit. I was a little hesitant, but then within 5 minutes, it was so beautiful. And I made sure to apologize, but he accepted me with such great love. And it was really beautiful, because I didn't feel like I deserved it for, rejecting him. But so basically I was able to reconnect with my siblings afterwards. And my mother, she's still an active Jehovah's Witness, but I'm very, very fortunate in the fact that when I finally told her, Mom, I am choosing to not be a Jehovah's Witness, I was scared to death, y'all, that she was going to say, sorry, I can't speak to you. But she did make the decision that I was going to be allowed in her life, and that she would still maintain a relationship with me, which I know many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses now, and they don't have that same privilege that I was in, that loving situation that I was in.
Yeah.
I mean, your family is not doing anything wrong in the eyes of the land, but just a Jehovah's Witness can't be with your families.
Yeah. So on another note, like when you guys see, you scroll your Facebook page and stuff, and you see people like faking the phone, do you say anything, or what do you think when you guys do that? Like, girl, this is not who she is.
Oh, I chuckle to myself and keep it scrolling.
It's my friend, and I know, like, if you're doing something crazy on online or saying something that's absolutely not true. I might send you a text and say, "Girl, why are you acting like that? You know dang on well that ain't true."
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna be like, listen, if you just playing around or whatever, but if you totally faking or acting like you something you ain't, like for instance, I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but for instance, I had a person call me and borrow some money, but the next day you out somewhere showing a car was not yours. It was a
Mm.
car in a parking lot. It was not yours. And it was just, and I sent them a text. I'm like, daggone well, that's not your car.
Right.
And they're like, don't nobody else know that.
Well, you know,
And I'm like, wow. And that's the other thing that I want to talk about is just, have you ever been a person that you know that you are not, just because maybe you had a boyfriend that kind of was molding who you were,
Mm.
a relationship, a guy that you absolutely loved, and I know I did, in college, but that you absolutely loved, that you had to be kind of who he wanted you to be. Now, he
Mm.
didn't come out and say you got to be this person, but because you loved him, you were kind of morphing into his lifestyle or
Mm.
who he was.
Mm.
I had that. I had that in college, and it wasn't a good situation. It was actually uh, turned out to be a bad situation. And because I loved him so much, I
Mm.
became this girl who was, um, and I'll say it, I wasn't in the drug scene, but I was exposed to it. Um, and he was a drug dealer, and I'm in college. I wasn't a part of everything, but I would be there when things were happening. That in the back room, I knew what it was, but I wasn't supposed to know what it was. And I was a church girl. Red could tell you I was a church girl growing up. What I know about this? And because I loved him so much, I allowed myself to be in that environment. I allowed myself to be quiet when things were happening, not say anything. And I'm not a quiet person. If I don't like something, I'm gonna say it.
She will.
But I was, if they were around me back then, I wouldn't say a thing. Just because, I'm not supposed to say anything. I want to be with this person. You know, I'm supposed to be quiet about things. When I'm with him, I'm with him. He does the leading and all that stuff. That was who I was. And um, at the end, it was sad. He ended up going to jail, and I ended up realizing that, one, I wasn't the only woman.
Mm.
Mind you, I was traveling when he went to jail. I was traveling states to go and see him and sit there for as long as they would allow me.
Mm.
And I remember the last time when I said I can't do this anymore. The gate shut behind me, and you could hear me. You hear when the gate shut, and I was like, "This is not me. This is not me. I can't do this anymore." I had an uncle that who was a policeman at Rahway Prison, and he told me, he said, "This is how we look at women like you."
Mm.
He told me that. I was like, "That's not me. That is not me. I'm being someone else because I love this guy." And my friends, they would have never, if somebody said, "What is one of Felicia's characteristics?" They would have never said that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I've never said that I gave up my voice because I love this person. I'm following behind this person.
Yeah. A lot of times we morph into who that person is and we become that person. And some women are chameleons. They change with whatever relationship they're in. They're with this person, they start doing this. They're with this person, they start doing this. So when do you start doing that? or because you know this man is with you or this female is with you. It's not all on one sided. Men morph into who they think the women are supposed to be too, which is a part of just not being yourself.
Right, right.
Mm.
And then you have people that as well um who become the person that they want to be,
Mm.
person that they see in the future, knowing they don't have no money to buy red bottoms. You broke like smoke and don't even have nothing but some sardines and Vienna sausages in your refrigerator.
Fake
But you got
fake the phone.
but you got a Louis Vuitton and some red bottoms in your closet and a bunch of Sheen outfits.
Mm.
I'm wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being bad, but seriously, you see people who got all the name brands in the world, but don't have a pot to put
Mhm.
in or when to throw it out, like the grandma used to say.
The peas, they need to get their peas in order. The
Right. And
priorities in order.
it's like, what is the fear of being yourself until like I told Sharita the other day, we're gonna fake it till we make it. But that didn't mean that we were going to go out and do something or have inspire her be a podcast that it isn't. That just meant that we're gonna have to do some things a little bit different, a little bit. We're gonna I don't know. We're gonna have
You
to
know,
have to act like we got a production crew.
But
I
some people may not have that fear. Some people just may just be exciting, more exciting for me being this person than it is being myself. It's like almost like going from hello, this is Miss Three, how may I help you? Then, hey girl, what's going on? What we got going on? It's like you adapt to the circumstances, you adapt to the situation. Sometimes it's part of that.
I
I think
I
that
ain't
some
even
of it,
about that once in a while. I'm talking about a person that's totally different.
I think a lot of it has to do with, what is it that you value? And then also, are you the one who's choosing your own values? Or are you letting society, social media, now one of the biggest social media platforms is TikTok, you
Yeah.
know, the thing is when we look at, and we're in an influencer culture at this point,
Yeah.
so we have people, and especially when we do have people who are putting out higher quality videos where, and it's like, I mean, there are some people who pop on there and I'm like, that's not just a makeup routine. What kind of ring light are you using? What kind of microphone do you like?
Right.
Like, what is actually going on where you pop so much more? And the thing is, but in our society, we're being fed and told what is it that we should value. And then it also happens not just with people who are influencers, but we got to look at our pop culture too. Who are we idolizing? And it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what genre of pop culture you're idolizing, whatever it is that you're saying, that's the standard that I want to live to, or that's the value. You see other people who have created an identity for themselves. And if you're not connected with yourself, choosing actively what your identity is going to be, we're humans are adaptable by nature. So we end up just gravitating towards what it is that we're taking in. I think that
Right.
that has a lot to do with it. So even if you don't have the means, like y'all were saying earlier, you're going to fake that funk so that you can resonate with what has been drawing you in.
I
BBL,
think it
face, getting your face augmented,
hmm
your
Oh, yeah.
tummy tuck.
The BBLs now.
Yeah, I think it goes into self
And if
love.
they get if they get another BBL, they're gonna be able to sit all the way up here on the
I think it goes to self love and body dysmorphia,
Mhm.
dysmorphia, all that stuff too. It can kind of get into that too. So it's so many different phases and stages of this thing, fear of being yourself. Um,
Yeah.
look at the filters. People get online and they put
yeah.
a filter on, and then you see them for real, and you're like, "Who the hell is that?"
Hey, I have a few to like two specific catfish pictures, okay? And
Uh-oh.
them
Like,
filters are creme de la creme. I don't use them, but they're for
oh
me.
my god, there are filters. I tried one the other day, and it's crazy how it looks like me, is
Mm-hmm.
just put makeup on me without me putting makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you can take a photo. I mean, you can take a studio photo on your cell phone with
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
filter that puts makeup on better than a makeup artist.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, and some
Right.
people they live their life every day like that. Some people they had somebody on TV the other day. I forget what show it is, but this girl, she barely comes outside. You'd think that
Mm.
she's in all these different places in Brazil and all these different places. She's not. She's just taking her image and putting them in these pictures, putting it on TikTok, making all these different TikToks with her filters for makeup and all that. She said, I don't know how to put on makeup. And I have never been out I have never been out of my state.
Mm.
Wow.
But if you look at her, and I wish I had it, I should have been prepared to have that. But if you look at her TikTok and look at her Instagram, she looked like she done been to Brazil, Paris, Rome, Greece, Italy, all those different places. She ain't been out the state of. I think she.
Yeah, but that could be her just living vicariously or wishing or things that's on her bucket list that she wants to do.
That wasn't it. That
That wasn't it.
He was on the show, and the guy was like, "Well," and she was like, "It's just not fun being me."
Mm.
She said, "I enjoy people liking who that person is." She said,
Wow.
"I'm boring," but and maybe it's a fun thing to do.
It could be.
But now she thinks that she is this person.
Fake it till she make it. It's like you got somebody. I always tell my, clients that I'm in, look in the mirror and these positive affirmations. Just keep saying these positive things over and over again. And at some point, you say it enough, you're gonna start believing it.
Right.
But let me look in the mirror. But I am thin. I am thin. I am
Let me
thin.
look in the mirror. I
I
am
am.
rich. I am rich.
Yes, that too.
Be
Speak
rich.
it.
I
Speak
am
it into
so rich.
existence.
Is it gonna
Speak
happen?
it. Speak it.
But
Speak
listen, it's nothing wrong with going out here. I mean, cause look, I like putting on makeup and going taking pictures and putting on my fancy clothes and
it. Mm-hmm.
but that's a part of me, as well as me going home and hanging out with my girls and just not having no makeup on, t-shirt, shorts, and just being a little ratchet.
Mm-mm.
That's part of me
But
too. I'm a mother.
yeah.
All of those are a part of me. But when one part just takes over and you're no longer somebody that anybody in your family or friends recognize when they come around you, that's a
Mm-hmm.
whole nother thing.
Well, that is a problem. That is a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a problem. Then you'll be wondering, well, what's going on with this person? Though? But people morph, people change, people grow, people get into stuff. Let's say you got somebody who really didn't have a style, or a little some money. Then they get a little bit money and they start to dressing differently. They start to getting into labels. Like when so and so started liking Louis, when they start doing this kind of stuff.
You got some money.
Yeah, but that's a
What your
part of
money can afford, baby.
that's a part of changing who you are. Absolutely.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Like to no, I was going to say I was
But
going
I
to say
think
but
I
But
think
we
there's
adapt to our environment. We adapt to our environment.
right.
I
I just don't want people to feel like for instance, I'm just gonna use Antoinette for instance. I would never want Antoinette to feel like I'm not going to accept her if I met her one way and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, she likes to wear makeup. Girl, she got Louis Vuitton. She got Louboutins. And then I see her, maybe she was borrowing them that day. But maybe I see her,
Borrowing. I ain't borrowing
maybe,
nobody's
maybe
clothes.
she
But
was, oh, yes, they do. They rent
I
them,
know
baby.
that's terrible. But if I can't afford to have it, just if I let me rent this Chanel bag for a
They
weekend.
rent them.
mm,
No, I'm not doing that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you not, but some
I
people.
know it happens.
But
But
if I see her in her normal environment, no makeup, being who she genuinely is and happy, she shouldn't be afraid that I'm gonna look at her and be like, "Oh, girl." need
Mm.
some makeup. Who are you? Where your bag at? What's going on with that Michael Kors?
Look, makeup should enhance your beauty. It shouldn't make you look like a totally different person.
That
So if
part.
you go in there, makeup is supposed to enhance our beauty. You know, you put a little eyeshadow on, a little eyeliner, but if you come out looking like a totally different person, then you need I don't know, you need to be in a movie or something doing makeup. You know,
But
if
you
Girl,
know,
everybody,
how many people have you seen that look totally different? Some of them after they take off their
I've seen a lot of people look totally different after they take off their makeup.
I got a picture out there, and I was so mad when the girl did my makeup for that book that I did. And I
Mm-hmm.
looked at the pictures, I was like, this don't really look like me, but I'm gonna roll with it because I got this makeup on now.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I was like, this is too much. I like
But
a good beat, but this is too much.
for those that are listening or newcomers, we're talking about just the fear of being yourself. Antoinette used to be in the polyamory community, and she feels no longer that that fits her lifestyle and where she is, but she also felt like she wasn't living in her truth. So we're talking about just being okay to just living your truth. And so many times that, you know, we're afraid of because of what people may think, or being canceled, or people talking about us, or people shunning us, that we don't live our truth.
yeah,
Okay, so now we've talked about all of this. How do we help people? Because we can talk about the issue, but how do we help people be comfortable being themselves? One, I think we got to accept you no matter who you are. If
Mm-hmm.
I love you, if you're my friend, just like your family members did, I'm going to accept you no matter what.
Yes.
Is
And
that
it goes back to self love. You have to love yourself. You have to love who you are and accept who you are. I
right?
didn't always like my freckles, but I had to accept that
But
because,
you're
you
so
know,
cute.
no, but listen, when I was a little girl, I was teased. I was called everything from Little Red Riding Hood, from Ann to Pippi Longstocking to
That was
uh,
mine. Pippi Long.
Fire, the Wendy's girl, Firestorm. I mean, everybody with red hair and freckles, I was called, and you know, and it made me self conscious about it. But you know, kids tease, you know. But
hmm
now it's like, oh, everybody want to get these freckles. They actually have Snapchat chat filters with freckles where people can put the freckles on their face.
sometimes people get tattoos of freckles now. I've seen that because when I was, yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
the white boys do that.
I had a big, I got a big forehead, and big, so I got a big nose. But I used to, in my pictures back in high school, and when I was able to wear my hair out, I had a bang all the time. I had a bang
Mm.
covering up this forehead. But then you know what? I got in college, and my girlfriend was like, "Girl, what are you doing?" And I said, "You know what? If you are going to love me, man, woman, boy, child, girl, you're gonna love me no matter what.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be who I am, and sometimes you might see me this way, sometimes you might see me that way. That's all a part of me, and I'm at the point where I've been at the point where, and I tell my daughter, listen, you're gonna find your people, you're gonna find your tribes that love
Hmm.
you no matter what. And that's the third thing, like you said, find people who genuinely love you, who are
Hmm.
not just love you because of what you have or who you are.
hmm
If you have a fear of walking outside, and I understand, I really do understand if you have some type of augmentation or, acne or things that make you feel a certain way about yourself. I totally, totally understand it because as a child, I had acne really bad. My mother didn't have a lot of money to take me to the doctor. So, I had to do the things that I needed to do, and I still have it. But I have people that love me for who I am. Some people see through all of that,
Hmm.
and I'm not talking about people that like that. It's fun to, go out, dress up, do all this stuff. It's fun for you. I'm talking about the person that really has a fear of being himself, being themselves,
And
being
I think people are attracted to confidence. If you're
yeah,
confident,
right.
people are going to be attracted to that. And even if I may not feel confident, you know, like being a woman with curves or whatever, you might see another woman out here curvy like you. They may be able to wear something that you be like, I never thought that I could wear that. But she looks so confident in what she has on, so maybe that'll make me be like, okay, well, let me try it. You got to know your limitations now. Everything ain't for everybody, but we're
So
attracted to confidence. We're attracted to confidence, and I think and I think confidence can be contagious.
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
You
So
can't look at how many women Lizzo out here doing her thing. Look at how many women are like, shoot, if she can do it, I can do it. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's contagious and it's a beautiful thing. Look, we created this episode today just to say, look, we know that there's a fear of being yourself. At some point, I had a fear as well. I have fear of things, but you gotta understand that being yourself is loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. You can put on makeup and wear nice clothes and look good, put your eyelashes on and your nails.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is that you want to do. But don't feel like when you take all of that off, that's not beautiful as well.
Right.
Because it is. You look at yourself in the morning with no makeup on, with no cord coming out your eye, whatever. No, just wipe a little crud out your eye before you look at it. Go
And
wash your face and all and look at that fresh face and say, look, I am
Mm-hmm.
beautiful with nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share with the audience too, for anyone who is in a phase where they're having trouble being themselves or learning who they are, that this is something I tell everyone. I feel like this is a blanket statement that whatever you want to grow into, allow yourself to practice and give yourself patience. And that also applies with being yourself. The way you were just saying, when you take off your makeup and you look in the mirror, you can, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, you can practice giving yourself that positive affirmation. You can shift into that love. You can like grow into that self-love and self-acceptance. And another thing is, whenever we were talking about me coming on the show, Faye, you had asked, we want to share what are some reasons to just be yourself. And I had written down these two notes. I feel like we owe it to ourselves to be ourselves because we discover more about ourselves, and that allows for more opportunities for us to celebrate ourselves. And then we learn, what do we like about ourselves to build our confidence. We learn what don't we like about ourselves. And the reason we want to understand that is because then that empowers us to say, you know what, I want to develop in this area. I don't like the fact that I do this, but I can change this. I mean, we can really mold ourselves into the person we want to be while accepting ourselves. It's not about changing for other people. It's really about, like you guys said, connect to yourself, love yourself, accept yourself. And as you do that, the people who are meant for you, they end up gravitating into your life. Life aligns beautifully. You find your tribe. But another beautiful piece is, once you discover who you are, you can maintain your peace while you're waiting for the right people to come around you. And once you discover that peace because you're yourself, there's nothing like that peace.
Yeah,
And what you might realize is that the people you hanging out with that you have a little fear of, they ain't your people. You need to move them on to the side and try. The other thing that I wanted to say is, look, like me, I got this fupa. I got this fupa that I am not liking right now. And so if it's something about you that you don't like, my fupa, I need to go work out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I might not get rid of the whole thing, but I may be able to get rid of some of it. And it's being a little bit more healthy as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you have crooked teeth and you don't like your teeth, maybe you need to go to the dentist and see what you can do. I know adults don't like to wear braces, but the crazy thing is people are loving wearing braces now.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. People are loving wearing braces now.
Because it's a fad. It's a fad. So
this is weird.
it is weird.
My braces now. My skin. I go to a girl that helps me to help my skin clear out and bring out the natural oils. When I was growing, I hated having oily skin. Now that I'm 50, baby, bring the oily skin on and
Well,
keep it
you
from.
need that. I tend to get dry around this area.
Yeah. And I'm like, now I appreciate, I wanted to get rid of all that oily skin back in the day, all that oily skin. And I think that helped me because,
Right.
some people don't even know how old I am. You know, black don't crack.
Right.
They
Yeah, we gotta take our strengths and things that we love about ourselves, and a lot of times we don't celebrate what we've done or where we are, and that's part of the imposter syndrome too, because we're always looking for the next thing. Oh, I got this job making this amount of money, so okay, so I got this, so let me go make the next amount of money. Instead of enjoying what they have and celebrating what they have, we're going on to the next thing. We're going on to the next thing. We're going on to the next thing. And like you said, the things that you need to improve on, make a plan and do it. You know.
Right. And I want to bring this up. One of our girlfriends put a post on Facebook and it was beautiful. I was so proud of her. She said something about her teeth. And she used to always cover up her smile,
Mm-hmm.
her mouth shut when she smiled. And when she showed her teeth, beautiful smile. But um she always felt like something was wrong with her teeth, so she would not smile. I was so proud that she got to the point where she was like, look, I'm just going to love myself. And that's all I have for you. I'm just going to love myself whether you like it or not. I'm going to show you my smile because she wanted to help influence other people.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah, that was a good.
Might have been looking at her, people
That's
that might be
beautiful.
inspired by her. And if she's watching, my friend Tanya Jones, I would like to say, girl, I was so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
We,
As you get older and you just appreciate the beauty in people, especially our people. It's like, you know, the skin tone, the complexion. We just notice the beauty in one another.
Mm.
A lot of time, it always like if it ain't light, it ain't right kind of thing. And I never bought into any of that stuff, but just recognizing the beauty of our bodies, our skin, our natural hair. Just loving ourselves, and I just love it. It just it's good.
I want to piggyback off something you said about celebrating. Celebrate yourself.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
okay. It is okay to celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, listen, pat yourself on the back for the little things that you do. You know, for those of you who know me, it's 28 days to my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Shut up, Red. I'm celebrating.
No, it's not.
28
It is
days
not
to
28 days.
November.
Oh, it's 28 days in the month of November, not your
28
your
days.
birthday. I
My
forgot your
birthday
birthday.
is the whole month of November. You know
Miss
that.
Faye, you're a Sagittarius, yes?
I am a Sagittarius
And
and
she
Every
starts celebrating
Sagittarius I
in March.
know, their birthday starts on November 1st.
Oh, she starts talking
in
about her
November
birthday in March.
30th, the whole month. And those of
Okay.
you out there, y'all know, stop playing. Y'all know, y'all celebrate too. So, yes, I am a Sagittarius proud. November 25th is my birth date. But y'all better be glad I ain't celebrate the whole 9 months.
Like she normally does.
I
Like,
love
girl,
it.
like
Being
10
thought
people
about in
birthdays
March.
before yours.
I started being thought about in March. I celebrate y'all birthdays. Stop playing. I let you celebrate your birthday, and then I continue to celebrate. So I mean, it's the big deal.
Mm.
Miss
I
Red, when is your birthday?
August 15th.
Okay,
don't
okay.
even celebrate in August.
Leo, I'm a
Yes,
Leo.
it's
I'm a
Leo. That's good.
Right.
And happy birthday since yours just recently passed.
Thank you. What is yours, Antoinette?
July 17th. I'm a Cancer.
Oh, we
Yeah.
love our little sensitive cancers.
Thank you. It's fun.
Mama and my daughter are cancer.
Cancers. Oh my goodness. I
Ooh.
love myself some cancers, but they are so sensitive. Bless their.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotion. That was the thing. I'm out here searching for love, which is why polyamory resonated with me because it's a community. Everybody's like, everybody just wants love. And I don't just mean the sexual kind. I mean, genuine love going on. But let me tell you, it's hard out there when you're looking for real love. I said, I got to protect myself a little more. People
Yes.
around with people's hearts. I can't do all that.
They
right
do.
with it
Yeah.
and kick it on out there to the curb.
Exactly. I'm
Yes,
like, wait, this ain't forever for everybody. No, if you love me, we're locked in. I can't do temporary.
I know. I know the dating scene is different. Anybody out there? Anybody out there dating that's listening? How is that going?
Listen, if you have any questions, you can comment. We'll show your question. Because we want to celebrate you too. Anybody listening, we want to celebrate, and we might put a post out there so everybody can, show yourself, show your picture. We'll celebrate you. Celebrate. Take a quick selfie. Listen, we want to celebrate you right where you are. We want
Mhm.
you to know, look, we love you, and we're here to inspire you to be yourself. And if yourself is with a little bit of makeup on or whatever, I like my eyelashes. I like my little hair. Listen, be you, but don't feel like you have to be somebody that you're not. That's all this message was. We're not saying don't go out here and wear your nails because I would be a hypocrite. Don't go out here and wear your eyelashes. Don't go out here and buy your nice cars, all the stuff that you want. But we're saying just also love who you genuinely are. Don't feel like you can't be yourself. That's all we're saying today.
It's funny because I definitely am who I am. So I went and got my nails done today, and
That's
so,
Halloween.
huh?
Oh,
No, it's just orange.
Halloween design.
So I'm going to Denver this weekend. So
Those are cute.
Denver is blue and orange, but also VSU homecoming is next weekend. So I'm going to that too. I said, so I can kill two birds with one stone, blue and orange. So my nail tech was like, oh, we got some new little stuff going on. She had some Louis Vuitton and some Gucci and some Chanel. I was like, well, you know what? I don't want to do Chanel because I ain't got no Chanel stuff, but I'll do the Gucci because I can afford the Gucci stuff.
What?
Wait, I just made my screen larger.
Those
Okay,
That's kind of
they're nice.
that is schmancy.
So yeah, those
Yeah.
are nice.
I like it.
Yes.
Well, listen, guys,
Shania.
we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We appreciate everybody that joined us tonight just to listen to our little chat with Miss Antoinette, the relationship
Yes.
saved, and tell us about her good news and getting back to herself. Girl, hold on, you young. You gonna find some love.
You
Oh,
are.
yeah. I'm in a healthy relationship of 6 months.
Oh,
We just celebrated our 6-month anniversary, and y'all,
oh,
I
okay.
appreciate
Nice.
all the roads that led me to this point because y'all, it's now the the healthiest relationship that I have. The healthiest relationship I have is the one with myself, and
Right.
That is awesome.
he is good to me. Love it.
Listen, we
Brag
gotta
about
start
that
using what
girl.
we got. She had me find these applause. There you go.
Y'all.
We
That's right.
appreciate
Brag
you.
about that man.
Appreciate you, girl. And look at her. She look all happy, smiling from
Yes, she
ear
does.
We happy you found it, girl.
We
Thank
love
you so
love.
much.
Yes.
It's so good.
So you just had to find yourself and love yourself, and it
And
came.
that was the alignment because I love me, he loves
Sandra.
himself, and we get along great together.
That's good. That is
Sandra.
excellent. That's most important. That is
Yes.
most important. All right. Well, look, we're gonna end on that note. We ended on a happy note. You
Yeah.
have good luck.
Welcome, Cassandra. I hope you
Congratulations.
enjoyed the show and be back next week. Well, on the 17th, we got something good going on with some girl chat.
Yes, you don't want to miss
Next week
that.
we'll be playing some about breast cancer awareness, and because I will be out of town, breast cancer awareness as well as domestic violence awareness.
Oh, the poll. You gotta
Yes,
talk
yes, yes, yes,
poll.
yes. Yes, the
Yeah.
poll.
Listen, we got on. If you look through our page, Inspire Her, on Facebook, you will see that we have a video out there talking about, and I think I put it in features, I think, but you will see a video out there talking about our polls that we're putting up. We're trying to communicate a little bit more with you guys, get some more follows, figure out what it is that you want to talk about. So we're putting out 3 polls during the month. The first poll is a topics poll. So you go out there and look. We have physical fitness, financial fitness, family matters, relationships, uh, pop culture, being a little bit ratchet and messy. You know, we all want to hear that. Pick which one you want. We're going to have 2 other polls that we will have a little bit later on in the month. But what you have to do in order to be a part of the contest, you will vote on the poll and we will see who's voting and we will enter them into a drawing where we will pick one out to win a gift card at the end of the month. We're going to have 3 polls now. We're going to have 3 different people. So we can't have the same person winning every poll. So you go on now and vote. But in order to win, you have to be a person that follows us. If you do not follow us, you cannot win. So click on our page, click follow, and do our poll. We will include you in a drawing. Okay? And at the end of the month, on Halloween, we're gonna jump on here for a little bit. We're not gonna take all your Halloween night, but you can look at it in replay as well. We're gonna announce the 3 winners. And we're going to dress in our Halloween costumes. So when you come on, if you want to come on with us with your Halloween costume, we would love it. But we also will have you submit pictures of you and your Halloween costume. We can put that on our page as well because we want to have some fun. It's Halloween.
Yeah. So looking at the poll so far, Fee, oh, right after your birthday. Okay, Cassandra. Miss Libra. I think it's still Libra season. Yes. Financial fitness and hot topics are like leading in the poll.
Okay.
So financial
I want
fitness,
to know about
y'all
money.
be a financial coach, right?
That's right. I can bring on the financial fitness
And
and
I can bring on the hot topic messy stuff. What? You're gonna be 55. Wow.
woo-hoo!
I bet
Okay.
you look amazing. We gotta look at you and celebrate you. We're gonna shout out to you happy birthday.
Right. We're going to celebrate y'all. The month of October, we are celebrating everyone. So we're going to put posts out there where you can post your pictures. We're going to celebrate everybody. Look, we are here to inspire you.
The total woman.
Total woman.
Dang.
Listen, we are signing off. Meet us in the group on the page. Love you too.
Yes, we love you too, Cassandra.
We love you too. Look, we love all of you guys. We really are just 2 women who look. We have this love that we want to share with everybody, and hopefully you'll share your love back with us by following us and letting us know that you are there as well. So
Yes.
good
You know
night.
what? We need to get this merchandise going too, so we can start sending people our T-shirts and mugs and stuff.
Okay, it's coming.
Because
It's
if
coming.
we can send Miss Cassandra something for her birthday, we can send her a T-shirt.
We can. It's coming. It's coming. Trust me, guys. It is coming real soon. It's in production as we speak.
It's in production. Thank you so much, Antoinette, the relationship Raven.
Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate
that
it.
tuned in as well. We'll be back on the 17th live with Girl Chat. So you won't want to miss that.
Right. Oh, and make sure you check the page as well. We have a video out there. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you need to see how to do your self-examinations. And for those who are at that age, get your mammograms done.
That part.
Early detection is important. You never know. Early detection is important. But we have Dr. Donna's video on there. I'm going to try to see if I can get her on. But we have Dr. Donna's video on out there who shows you how to do a self-examination right in your own home, bathroom, wherever you want, standing up,
Yes.
checking your own self. So go out there on the page and look for that as well. And we'll also have someone talking about this two things this month: breast cancer awareness and domestic violence awareness, which is also as important. And we will have somebody talking about that as well on the page. They may not be able to join us on the podcast, but we'll put a little bit of information on the page about that as well, because we want you all to be informed.
Sounds good.
All right.
We will
Thank you,
say
ladies.
good
It was
night.
wonderful to
Thank
speak with you
you.
again.
We are
Thank
here to inspire her, the total woman.
Yes.